Another exercise that is absolutely vital to improving your, particularly your Achilles lock, but your leg locks in general, is the upright row. Now, the upright row in sort of physical fitness is conventionally done standing, and we will show that a little bit later on. It is usually done in a very particular way in order to target certain muscle groups. So if we talk about the pure upright row, there's less application, but very essential cultivation. A pure upright row is going to generally be performed in this manner. I'm going to have my elbows out and in front on the frontal plane, and I'm going to bring it straight up to the chest, usually about in line with the hands, so everything's on the same level. What I'm looking to do is not keep the elbows back, not keep it on the body when I do an upright row, because if I do an upright row in that manner, I'm only working my deltoid, and I have a limitation to how high I can go. When I have the elbows out, I'll see that I can go up much higher, because in this position now I'm starting to recruit the trapezius muscles as well. And so I see that it's a nice, stable position. I should have it in such a manner, especially from a kneeling position or a seated position, that my tailbone is under and I'm not doing this. I'm not arching the back as I lift, because that'll place all the stress on the lower back. I want to see that I'm square, ribs are pulled in, tailbone is solid, and I'm looking for the most continuous, even pressure possible. So this will share the load between the deltoids and the traps, and will teach us exactly how to lift. If I was looking for application, which is closer to what we do for the actual lock, I'd be looking for the inverse. I don't want constant strain on my muscles, I want minimal strain on my muscles. I do, however, not want to use just the deltoid, I want to recruit the traps. So I will start often with a slightly flared position, but as soon as I can cheat it, I'm going to wing my elbows back and pin the kettlebell or the weight, whatever the case is, on my body. And the reason for that is I don't want to have to be responsible for holding it out here. If I hold it in front of my body, there's a lot of strain. But lifting in this way, away from the body, is quite strong. So I lift and I plant it on my body, like an old woman holding a purse, or a granny purse position. And then I flare and I lock. So it's somewhat akin to rowing. It's a shared wave action. And I lock. And I can do it in both directions. And another reason, of course, that we bring the elbow back, aside from locking it out and making it easier to hold and maintain, is that when we're locking that foot, we don't want the foot to get away. So if I have a large flared opening, the foot slides out. If I have it nice and tight, wing tucked into the body, it's much more solid. If we look at the upright row from a standing position, nothing really changes. I come down, tailbone's going to be in a neutral position. The pure position, my feet are braced in what's called a biotensegral state, meaning I'm contracting outwards and inwards simultaneously. My tailbone is underneath. I can go down 5 to 6 centimeters in this stable position, and then my tailbone, I reach my pelvic floor. At that level, I'm required to release the tailbone, and as the tailbone releases, I will hinge forward, not excessively arching back, staying nice and stable. I will grab the kettlebell or the weight, tailbone will engage underneath, and I will come to this position to lift it. My arms are nice and round. From that position, stable, up and down. And so that would be the pure exercise for cultivating the muscles that we'll need. To get closer to application, I'm going to hump it forward with the tailbone, and from that position, pin it on the body. So I'm sharing it with my legs and my hips, and I pin it in. Pulling it up, and if it's really starting lifting, I'm placing it flat. So that simple exercise really lets you work the muscles you're going to need to crank that Achilles tendon as hard as you want. It's the same basic motion that we'll use for the initial phase of a heel hook, and to a certain extent, the cross hand on your figure four toe lock is going to be moving the exact same way. But because the ankle lock, the Achilles trap, is our primary trap, it's an essential one for having power, conviction, strength, and confidence in that motion.